Welcome to the Kelly Sullivan Walden Show, where we explore nighttime dreams, daytime desires, and the best ways to transform the tragic into magic. Because let's face it, we all dream, we all have our blessings, and we all have our challenges, myself included. And I don't want any of us to take any of those things lying down, if you know what I mean. I just wrote a book entitled A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. It comes out spring of 2023. And in the meantime, I'm excited to explore the topic with you, whether it relates to your waking or sleeping dreams, because we're dreaming all the time, people. So let's make it the best dream possible. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. So today's the day where it is the darkest day of the year. And in days of old, it was believed that this was a time that required great prayer for great faith that the light would one day come. So with that in mind, and we're just a few days away from Christmas, I thought I would share this little memory that popped up, not on Facebook, but in my mind. Thought it might help you if you're going through any challenges this holiday season. This might help you a little, or at least give you a chuckle. So it was, I believe, it was about 20 years ago, because Dana and I had just gotten married. So let's say around 2002. And it was the Sunday before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Just kidding. It was completely frantic, the opposite of the way it should be leading up to Christmas. I was a stress case. Instead of having Silent Night kind of running through my mind, I had the sounds of the old anthem, not enough, I'm not enough, don't got enough time, not enough money, not enough bandwidth, not enough presents, not enough, all the things, all the not enoughs that Christmas is so good at elevating and shining a light on. So basically it was Sunday, and I thought, I need to get to church. I need to drop all my frenzy, all my wrapping presents, all my stuff, and just get to church. I need to pray. I need to meditate. Oh my God, if I leave right now, I'll be able to make it to the meditation. And I know at the meditation at my church, if you don't get there right on time, they close the door, so you're locked out. So I remember thinking, this is really funny. I'm speeding through town trying to make it on time to my meditation, but that's where I was at. That's what I was doing. And I got to church. I was like gonna make it, but there was no place to park anywhere. There was no room in the inn, not for me, not for anyone else who was running late. And all the ancillary parking lots were just packed. I mean, around Christmas time, they call them the C&Es, the Christmas and Easter folks that all around the seasons come in when they don't otherwise. So normally there was plenty of parking, but on this particular day, no parking, no room in the inn. So I was doubly stressed out. I'm not only not going to make it to meditation, there's no place to park. You know what? Forget it. God, you know what? Forget it. So I just was driving like even more of a maniac. I don't recommend this, and don't try this at home, kids. I thought, I'm just going to finish my Christmas shopping. I need more wrapping paper and blah, blah, blah. So I just maintained that stressful energy. And I found myself in the Smart and Final parking lot. I had gone in to buy wrapping paper. That's funny that it was Smart and Final. I didn't even think about that until just now. And I got my stuff. Lines were longer than they should have been. I was just a stress case. I'm in my car, 10 steps ahead of where I want to be. And before I know it, bam, crash, boom, I hit a car in the parking lot. I can't believe it. It was in my blind spot. I'm completely devastated. Like, oh my God, just what I need. I get out of the car and I realize I had hit the car of this little old lady. She was, I want to say 90 something. I mean, I don't know what she was doing driving, but it was me that hit her car, and my stress just hit kind of a peak, and I came out of my car moving toward her, and I just burst into tears. I just was crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. Oh my God. Oh my God. And this little old lady, most people, if you've ever gotten in an accident and it's your fault, people usually are not nice to you. They're mad. They're pissed off. They shame you. That's kind of the typical animal response. But this little lady like walked toward me with her arms out wide and just gave me the biggest hug. And I, for whatever reason, I mean, she's a stranger. I would normally just be like, oh, that's nice, and back off. But I needed the hug so bad. I let her envelop me, and I kind of sobbed on her shoulder. And when I pulled back, she said, it's okay, honey. You're okay. I'm okay. We're all okay. And now you can slow down. And I was like, oh, I received the message. I took it all the way in, and I said, thank you so much. Okay, let me get you my driver's license and all that stuff. So I went back to my car, wrote down my driver's license info, insurance information, got out of the car to give it to her, and she was gone. Not a trace, nowhere to be seen. Now, I don't know how much damage, or there was probably a little dent. She should have stayed. But in my mind, she was an angel, and she helped to give me what I was wanting to get at church, what I was wanting to get from Christmas, that feeling of being enveloped by love, that feeling of, and that message of you're okay and we're okay. Just slow down, slow down. So that calmed me down. Obviously, I got my church right there in Smart and Final. And all I remember is that the rest of the days leading up to Christmas, I was a lot more calm, and things weren't perfect, but I felt a lot better. And then all I know so as some of you know, I've been talking about Ogle lately, because that's the formula that I write about in my book, A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. So this morning, in retrospect, which is usually when one ogles, you can hardly be 2020 in real time, although that's the goal. But I ogled what happened, and my ogle was, what was offensive was that I bought into the frenzy. I bought into the stress. I got caught up in consumer consciousness. I got caught up in the not enough spell. And what's good about that was that it brought me to such a fever pitch, kind of like in the way that a nightmare is good. When things become so out of balance, we have a crash, and we're forced to have to look at what we're doing, and we're forced to look at how to course correct. If we're smart, if we're wise, if we're going to be smart and final about it. The looking glass was, how am I consumer consciousness? How am I perpetuating the myth of not enough? Nobody gave that to me. I mean, yes, it's in the atmosphere that we live in as humans, but I'm the one that bought it. I'm the one that sold it to others. So I'm the one in the looking glass. And from a dream perspective, everyone in the dream is us. That means there's at least a little speck of that little old lady angel in me, in all of us, that says, honey, slow down. It's okay. You're okay just the way you are. So I could see that little speck in the looking glass. And that brings me to the E, the elevate. So what I didn't realize at the time, but I decided sort of my way of paying it forward was the next time, and there have been several times since then, that was back in 2002, the few times I've had fender benders, I resist the temptation to get mad at the person who hit me, and I I've become the little old lady that hugs people in the middle of an accident. So there was somebody in Trader Joe's parking lot a few years ago. She backed right into me, and I was like, ah. And I channeled that little old lady, and I just went right over to the woman and hugged her. And she kind of cried and shook, and she had been having a really bad day. And this has happened to me a few times. So it's my little pay it forward. And I was just thinking about that because today is winter solstice. It's a few days before Christmas, just like that day 20 years ago. And I'm about to go shopping. I'm about to go out into the world. I'm about to brave the elements and brave the people. And I want to bring that back. And I wonder if you might be having any of those same feelings or same thoughts, or if you've bought into the not enoughness that we can sometimes buy into. It's the consumer perspective of Christmas, but it's not the message of Christmas. The Christmas message, the true message is you're okay. I'm okay. We're all okay. Just slow down. That's my message for you this winter solstice. I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful rest of your holiday. Sweet dreams. Thank you for listening to the Kelly Sullivan Walden Show. If you enjoyed this episode, take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. My show can be found on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to pre-order my new book, A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste, go to your favorite online or brick and mortar retailer, then head on over to kellysullivanwalden.com tragic2magic. Input your order number and redeem your bonus gifts. I'm also excited to be offering a new live DreamWork practitioner training. So if that calls to you, go to kellysullivanwalden.com/dreamwork. If you'd like to join me for the live recording of these shows, most Wednesdays at noon Pacific, you can find me on Facebook at Kelly Sullivan Walden Dreams. If you have a question about your dreams or about how to transform your tragic into magic, email me at kelly@kellysullivanwalden.com. Until next time, remember, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And as you awaken to the power of your dreams, you make the world a lighter, brighter, more beautiful place, one dream at a time. Sweet dreams.